Like, see how much more flat that kind of writing is compared to the original. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Riley K. Jones. I'm a writer, teacher, and author tuber. And today we're going to talk about sensory details and how to include those in your writing to make your words jump off the page. So before we jump into how to use sensory detail in your writing, let's talk about what sensory details are. Sensory details deal with the 5 different senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. Using sensory details immerses your readers into your world, into the character's eyes. This is also a part of the show don't tell. If you like a little bit more about show don't tell, you can click the card right above. For example, I heard the crunch of the boots in the newly fallen snow. Although this sentence may seem like you have some sensory details and you're drawing onto your readership, you have the word crunch, which is a nice strong word. You can hear that word. You also have newly fallen snow, which is like something you can see. So you have 2 of those types of sensory details in that sentence. However, it is not as strong as you might think. What you can do to make that stronger is eliminate I heard and just say this: the boot crunched in the newly fallen snow. Whoa, now we are immersing with the narrator. We're no longer depending on the narrator to say things like I hear, I saw, I looked, I smelled, things like those. Although you think you're immersing your reader with your narrator, you're actually drawing them out of the picture. So when we have something like the boot crunched in the newly fallen snow, we're actually giving a more immediate immersive experience to your reader. So some things I know when I'm looking through manuscripts or I'm reading books or I'm looking through my students' pages, that a lot of times people can definitely use sight and they definitely use sound. Those are the 2 top ones that they will try to use. But remember, there are 3 other senses that you can be using, such as smell, taste, and touch. For example, Jill's sandals flopped against the weather-beaten boards. The air was filled with salt, sugar, and sun. The calls of the eagles roared with the crashing waves. Her eyes followed the horizon and the waves that splashed up against the shore. She couldn't wait to get her feet wet in the cool waters and just bake in a bed of sand. So I try to use different types of sights and sounds and taste to describe the scene. So we have the flip-flops that are smacking or hitting the boardwalk, so we have that sound. And then we also, I said, the weather-beaten boardwalk to show the age of the boardwalk. It's not a freshly built one. She's looking out and panning across the horizon. We have the cawing of the seagulls and the crashing of the waves. We have the air is being filled with salt, sweets, and sun. So you know this boardwalk probably has some types of food because she's smelling it, as well as the smell of the sea and the sun and alliteration. So there's bonus points there. And there, the list goes on. So that should have created some sort of picture in your mind rather than having the narrator go like this. She walked across the boardwalk and saw the seagulls flying in the air. The waves crashed into the shore. She rushed across the sand. She couldn't wait to get a tan. Like, see how much more flat that kind of writing is compared to the original? Some cautions for sensory details. You don't want to have every single experience be sensory details, because what's going to happen is you could have 5 pages describing the landscape, and then you have lost your readership. Lisa Cron in her book mentioned that in a second it takes you to read the sentence, your senses are showering with over 11 million pieces of information. Your conscious mind is capable of registering about 40 of them. And when it comes to actually paying attention, on a good day, you can process 7 bits of data on a time. On a bad day, 5. On one of those days, more like -3. You want to make sure the writing is brief, especially in a landscape in an area. You want to make sure that it's like brief enough where like someone can understand it, they get it, and they can move on and understand the context. But they're not spending and wasting a page or two trying to get to the point of the story. You want to make sure that they are immersed enough and can hold on to that character's experience. Choose those moments carefully. Although you do want to immerse your reader in the story, again, be selective with those details. Don't try to include every single thing, including the shade of white that's on a door. Like, we don't need to know that unless it's important information. And that is all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, make sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up to show me and the algorithm know that you like content like this one. And if you haven't already, click subscribe. I release new videos on all things writing and reading every Thursday. And let me know in the comments below if you would like to know anything else about sensory details and writing or any other writing advice you may have. And who knows, that may become a future video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, keep writing and stay creative. Bye!